In the first game, white is Grandmaster Grachev and black is Grandmaster Akopian. And it was played in 2013. So it's a game on high level. So you will see how just top Grandmasters play London system. So d4, knight f6, knight f3 was played in the second move. You know what we play? We play bishop f4 first, but white can also play this move order. Knight f3 and then bishop f4. e6, bishop f4, and then black played b6. White played e3, bishop b7, and then white played h3 first. We said we should play bishop d3. Bishop e7 and then bishop d3, so it's like the same position we did before. We have been talking about bishop d3, bishop e7, and now h3. Okay, after that black played short castle, and then c5. White played c3, and then h6. White played queen e2, everything is normal as you see. And then black took on d4. White took with the e pawn, and then black played d6. Knight bd2, knight bd7. White played bishop g3. So usually white plays bishop h2, and we were talking about that. We said bishop h2 is the best move. Again, I think that bishop h2 is more accurate than bishop g3, but the idea is the same. Bishop is too vulnerable on f4, so we need to retreat it. So either bishop g3 or bishop h2, both moves are good, but yeah, I think that bishop h2 is slightly better. Okay, bishop g3, black played queen c7, white played rook fe1. Yeah, you see, just it's very it's positional play. It's static position. And you should just improve position of your pieces. That's it. Rook fe8 was played, and then white played bishop a6. So I was thinking of playing a4. a4 is actually a very good move here. Now you want to play a5, and to start with some action on the queen side. So a4 is excellent move, but in this game, white chose to play bishop a6. Bishop a6 is good as well. Why bishop a6? Because black light squared bishop on b7 is very good. It's one of his best pieces, and if we manage to take it, to exchange it for our light squared bishop, it will be good for us. After bishop a6, black took there, queen takes, and then black played queen c8. White didn't want to take there, he played queen d3 instead. And then black played d5. This is actually slight inaccuracy because now black is leaving the e5 square. Now e5 square is excellent outpost for the knight. Knight e5, knight takes, bishop takes, knight d7. Although we have more space and good development, you see we have almost nothing here. So basically we are always slightly better. We have long-term but slight advantage always. So we just need to play well and to try to, let's say, smother our opponent. That actually happened in this game. Okay, after knight d7, white played bishop f4, knight f8, knight f3, queen d8, knight e5, bishop d6, and then white played queen g3. Bishop takes, queen g5. Of course, white doesn't want to exchange queens because if he does that, it will be drawish endgame. So it's better to keep queens on the board if you want to win a game. Queen d3. Knight g6, rook e3, knight takes, rook takes. You see, it's equal position. Of course, actually, white is slightly better, but the thing is that white has more space. That is very important here. And white will organize attack on the e-file. He will play something like rook e1 or rook f1, and then to push f4, f5, and that's how is he going to play. And as I said, white is just slightly better, but this advantage is long-term advantage, and just keep improving your position of your pieces, keep keep attacking black, and that's it. That's the recipe how you should play this position. So after queen f6, white play rook a e1, g6, rook 5 e3, queen f5, queen e2, h5, rook f3, queen g5, rook g3, queen e5. White is gaining space, more and more space. Queen g7, queen f4, f6. Okay, this is like inaccuracy also, because now black has these weaknesses, you see? So it was difficult for black, you know, he just doesn't know what to do. That's the problem. And white will just play something like rook e5 to threaten to take the h5 pawn, and it's not easy to find the right defense for black. That's the reason why he played f6. He wanted to prevent rook e5. After that, white just brought his rook back on e3. So e6 pawn is under attack. Black played queen f7, and then white played queen h6. Now there is rook g3 threat. And then after that, g6 pawn cannot be defended. Rook e7 was played, rook g3, and then black played g5. But after g5, it's almost over. You see that his king is too exposed. He advanced those 2 pawns on g and h file too much, and white will just play f4, and then he will get the pawn. One of these 2, 3, even 4 pawns. All 4 pawns are hanging. So yeah, that's the problem. And this rook is still on a8. That was also the big problem. Black could activate that rook before, but he just he didn't do that, and now he will lose at least 1 pawn. Queen g7 was played, queen takes, king takes, and white is a pawn up, and white is winning in this endgame. So let's see this game till the end. King f2. Now there is one interesting plan to install our king on e5, and our king is like is very, very strong there. So a3, a5 here, king f4, king e5, king f4 again, okay, b4, king e5, b takes, rook takes. And black cannot defend his e6 pawn anymore. He played rook b2, rook takes. And after this, black resigned, he just 3 pawns down. It's easy win for white. Okay, yeah, we saw how you should play this. It's positional play, but as I said a few times, white always has slight advantage. So just play slowly. Try to have active pieces, and everything will be fine. Okay, let's see one more game. Here, white is Grandmaster Grischuk, and black is Grandmaster Anton Guyaro. It was played in 2015. Also game on a high level. So let's see what happened here. Bishop f4, and then black directly played b6. It's basically the same, it's just different move order. So white played e3, bishop b7, knight f3. h6 for black, and then h3 for white. So we were, in our analysis, we were talking about this, now h6, and then h3. Again, just move order is different. So black played first h6, not e6, then h3, e6, bishop d3. Okay, after bishop d3, black played bishop d6. So we talked about this, we said we should simply take, pawn takes, and then c4. Let's gain space in the center. Short castle, knight c3. Black played d5, white took, knight takes, bishop takes, and then e4. Bishop goes back, and then short castle. You see white has excellent center. White is going to play rook c1 to take the c file. And again, yeah, white is slightly better, but that advantage is long-term advantage, and white will just try to improve position of his pieces, maybe to try to double his rooks on the c file, and he will play slowly. And that's the way how you should play this opening. d6 was played, queen d2, knight d7, rook f e1 first, rook c8, rook a d1. So white didn't want to play his rooks on the c-file because he wanted to concentrate on these two central files, d and e file. Of course, it's also possible. Queen e7 was played, and then white played bishop b1. Rook fd8, queen d3. So white is preparing something like e5, and then there is battery on b1 h7 diagonal. So that's why black played knight f8. And then white played h4. Interesting move. White wants to start with action on the king side. It's unusual plan, but in this concrete case, it's good. So usually white tries to play on the queen side to try to take the c-file, maybe even to play bishop a6 to exchange light bishops. But white here chose another plan, and let's see what happened later. So after h4, black played this, white played g3, queen f6, h5, knight has to go back, and then rook e3, rook c7, queen d2, rook dc8, king g2. White is slowly improving position of his pieces. Knight h7, rook a3. So a7 pawn is under attack. Black played this. Now if white take there, that would be a mistake because of bishop takes e4. And when white takes the c7 rook, black will take the knight here for free. So of course rook a7 is a mistake. White played queen e3, bishop a8, bishop d3, knight d7, bishop a6, rook d8, bishop b5, rook dc8. He repeated position twice, and then he played rook c3. He brought his rook back to the c-file. C-file is the only open file on the board, and of course white wants to have rooks there. So rook c3. Black took there. And then b takes c3, and then you see that white connected his b pawn with the center. Now white has excellent center. Rook c8, c4, e5, and then knight h4. After e5, you see that there is a hole on f5. That's good outpost for the knight. He took there, queen takes, queen e5, and then bishop b1. There is a pressure on d6 pawn. Knight f6, and then just f3. Black took the pawn on h5, but that's not important because h4 knight will go on f5, and then d6 pawn cannot be protected anymore. Rook d8, e5. After this, white has better endgame. You see that white will play f4, g4, f5, maybe even e6 later, and he has majority in the center. So he will try maybe to create passed pawn there. Rook h1, g4, and then h6 pawn is hanging. So after this, it's obvious that white is better. Rook d7 is actually blunder. Black didn't see this. So after bishop f5, white is winning. But even if he doesn't play rook d7, if he plays something else, black is better anyway because of the extra pawn. And you see that this knight is perfectly placed on d6. So yeah, white is winning this game. So rook d7, bishop f5. Let's see this till the end. White is exchange up. f4. Black resigned. If black takes the pawn on c4, then white will play this. Bishop f7. Knight on c4 is hanging. Bishop is hanging on a8. Black has to take. Rook takes a8. And white is clearly better. White is clearly winning this because white is exchange up in this simple ending, and yeah, it's over. Okay, so you see how white played. It was unusual plan, but still white managed to win this game thanks to his space advantage and well-placed pieces. Okay, we are done with this. So it's just normal opening. Black is trying to play like his systems like Nimzo Indian, Bogo Indian, Queen's Indian, all those setups, and we'll just play simply. We'll play normal moves, bishop f4, bishop d3, knight f3, short castle c3, and everything will be fine. Okay, we're done with this.